Good morning and welcome to CINCY Lifestyle. I'm Pete Scalia. With so much division in our country, it can sometimes feel impossible to bridge the gaps between us. But healing is possible. And today, we're talking about a national effort to bring people together. Carlos Rangel, Chief Investments Officer at the W.K. Kellogg Foundation, is here to share how the National Day of Racial Healing is making an impact. So, Carlos, first off, what is the National Day of Racial Healing, and how is it being recognized here in Cincinnati and all across the country?
There are over 250 events happening across the country, and one actually happened in Cincinnati yesterday. So it's bringing people together to have just conversations and trying to create a closer connection.
So how do we overcome division when so many Americans struggle to communicate with one another and find common ground?
And that's where we believe racial healing is more important than ever, because the methods of communication are driving division as opposed to connection, and that is impoverishing and hurting us all. What we suggest is bringing people together and starting with a way of sharing our own experiences in a way that's respectful, but it does get across our point of view. It tells our truth, and then that we have this openness to listen to the truth of others, to understand their life experiences, and do that with empathy, both for themselves and for us. And finally, that helps us build on a relationship of trust based on a mutual understanding of our shared humanity and treating others with respect and dignity.
How is the W.K. Kellogg Foundation working to bridge the political, racial, and ethnic divide?
Yes, so the Kellogg Foundation's North Star is helping children and then helping people help themselves. So we want to help make sure that children can look to the future with hope and that their families and communities are experiencing opportunities and prosperity. And as we look at that, we believe it comes down to this type of communication, both at the individual level, doing self-reflection, at the family level, and then looking at the different organizations within our community that may be relevant, right? The school for our children, the places where we worship, our place of employment, where are the places where we can start reaching out to others, especially those that have different opinions, and then start working towards that common ground. So we may not agree perhaps on what party to vote on, but we can agree that both of us want what's best for our children.
Can you share some examples of how you've seen racial healing work?
Yes. So there was a crisis in Michigan in the city of Flint where the pipes that took the water to homes had lead lining, and that was actually hurting children with lead poisoning. And as the city sought to respond to that crisis, which is a very large scale, Latino communities were left behind because there was a language barrier and all the materials on the warnings were in English, and the Latino community, the Hispanic community that didn't have that information in their own native language struggled to respond to that crisis. And as a result, the city ended up adapting to that over time as they learned of that mistake, which then they had to rebuild the trust with that particular community. So there were a number of different participants in the community that had to come together, rebuild and rehabilitate that relationship and build up that trust again. And when COVID ended up hitting the United States, they had a better playbook to respond. There were stronger connections, and the community was able to work together to fight the impact of COVID.
And where can we go to learn more?
Yes, you can go to dayofracialhealing.org. Also, Telemundo will be airing a special around racial healing and the impact of the arts for that. And that will be on their social media and their streaming platforms.
All right, thanks, Carlos.